So, you're going to have a baby. Welcome to Mother Love Child. Today I'm in my basement where my children love to play, and I will be showing you 7 easy exercises to enhance your pregnancy and to prepare your body for labor and birth. So let's get started. The first one are hip drops. Our babies move through our bodies through our hips. So getting super comfortable with our hips now during pregnancy is going to help us during labor. All right, so for hip drops, your feet are about hip width apart, and you're going to bend your knees, engage your abdominal muscles, place your hands on your hips. I'm going to start with my right hip. Bend my knees. I'm going to lift my right hip and then drop it down. And when I drop it down, I drop down my heel. Lift up on my toe, drop down. Lift, drop, lift, drop. All right, other side. Left foot up on toes, lift up the hip, drop it down. Lift, drop it down. So when we lift, we come up on our toe, and when we drop it down, we drop our heel down. You notice my other leg, the knee stays slightly bent. Good. Hip drops. Hip drops. Get used to those hips. Start practicing moving them about. Exercise number 2. Side leg lifts. This exercise is like for balance. It's for 2 things. It's for balance, and it's going to help with the abductor muscles on the inside of the legs. And those muscles do need to be strong. Okay, so arms out for balance. Take your hips, move them forward slightly. Engage your tummy. And then lift a leg and take it to the side. Now, keep your foot flexed, not pointed, but flexed, okay? Balance is a beautiful thing, and this is gonna help our balance. Now, we're gonna change this exercise just a bit. We're gonna put our foot forward, and we're gonna move it to the side. See how it changes? So both ways are a good way to practice this exercise, and you don't need to do many. Let's do the other side. So these knees bent a little, hip forward, and then leg out to the side. And balance. I'm gonna bring my hands in. Good. And now I'm gonna bring my leg forward and then out. Yes. Good. And you'll begin to feel that muscle right in here. All right, the same exercise I sometimes like to call the shuffle scuffle, because even though right now everything is super clean down here or tidy, it usually isn't. And for years, I would be walking around holding a baby or a toddler or an animal and scooching things out my way. And I could tell when this muscle wasn't very strong, because if I were to go scoot something out the way, I wonder if I can do it with this drum upside down. When I go to scoot something out the way, if I couldn't do it, if it pinched or pulled, I would know that my abductor muscles were weak. But that's another way you can practice. Pick something, just shuffle, scuffle around. The next exercise is another strengthener for that abductor muscle, and I call it the standing butterfly. And that's why this is easy. You don't have to get on the floor. You don't need a partner. You can do it on your own. Okay, so our feet are going to be about hips width apart. We're going to take our arms up this time. We're going to take our arms up and cross over behind our heads. Here, I'll turn around so you can see my hands. My fingers are open, pressed on my back for stability. Keep feet hip width apart. I'm going to bend my knees, tuck my pelvis forward. See my pelvis? I'm going to tuck it forward. I'm going to try to open up my elbows as much as I can. Okay, and then I'm going to move my knees forward and out like a butterfly. All right, and this exercise, you'll feel it right away. You'll feel it right away, and it especially strengthens your knees, which is important for our next two exercises. Okay, stand up. Now, you could also bring your feet closer together for this one. Bend, hips forward. Okay, there you go. And then here, you can notice a slight difference in your knees and in your abductor muscles. Great. Okay, the next exercise is an open-legged squat with a leg lift. Okay, we're working on balance again. We're strengthening our leg muscles, and all of those things are very important for pregnancy, carrying our babies in our bodies, and then again for labor and birth. So here we go. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, bend those knees down to a squat, and as you come up, you're gonna lift a leg. Squat, lift a leg. Now let's say we're building balance. This can be a challenge. It's a little bit of a challenge for me because I need to build my balance some. So if you are building your balance, use your hands to help. Okay, bend down in that squat, lift your opposite arm, use your body to help you strengthen. Okay, there we go. So squat, leg lift, squat, leg lift. All right, next one. I said 7 easy, and this is easy because you're gonna do it at your own level. And this is the full deep squat. Here we go, full squat. Feet are about hip width apart. First, I'm gonna show you with my hands along my legs, following my legs down. So I'm gonna keep my feet flat, but I'm gonna show you how to do it without your feet flat. So keep watching, okay? So here we go. Bending my knees, making sure they don't go over my toes. There we go. Now for stability, you could take your hands behind you to offer that support. And that's very helpful. Helpful tip, take a blanket, roll it up. Heels. So let's say it's really challenging to get down in that deep squat with your legs flat or with your feet flat. So get a blanket or a yoga mat, roll it up, put your heels on it. This way, your feet are still pressing down, all right? And when you move down, you're given that extra support. And that exercise becomes very easy. Start out with doing 5 a day, move up to 7, and then 9, and eventually you could just be like the squat master and be doing 26 full deep squats a few days a week. All right, so here, I'll show you 3. We're gonna go up with our arms, we're gonna bring it down. 1, 2, 3, and the full deep squat. All right, that's 5 exercises already. Last 2 easy exercises to enhance your pregnancy and prepare your body for labor and birth. Pelvic rocks. Now, you can use your rolled up blanket again for your hands to offer support. You know, maybe I'll go this way. I'll go this way. Okay. Remember, our babies move through our pelvis. Our pelvises carry our babies during pregnancy, and then at the time of labor and birth, that's what they move through. So the pelvis it's a powerhouse for us as women, for our bodies, for creating life, carrying it, and then bringing it forward. So, pelvic rocks. All right, This was in one of my other videos before. And what you do is you are only moving your pelvis. Anyway, this is the only part of the body that we are moving. So if we were to come to our hands and knees and do it first and push our pelvis forward and then let it back out, you notice the movement isn't super huge. And the movement forward is slight. You can feel a tuck in your belly, and you can feel muscles engaging in your groin. All right, so on our hands and knees, our pelvic rocks, we're tucking in and letting the pelvis out. Tucking in and letting it out. And it's simple as that. Okay, little circles are good too. Why not? It's one of my favorites, little circles in either direction. And you can even wiggle, 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 wiggle back and forth, which is an ideal movement during labor and birth itself, especially when a mother is super close to transition or second stage and the baby's moving down in the pelvis. Get on your hands and knees, okay, and just wiggle, 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 and it feels so good. And it helps baby find the way out. Okay, last exercise, number 7. So we did all of those things that help strengthen our knees, our abductor muscles, our thighs, our hips, and now we want to stretch them and open them. And that we can do with Capotasana. So I'm gonna, do I want to face you, or I'll do it to the side. All right, Capotasana. We're gonna take one of our legs, doesn't matter, you choose which one you want to do first. We're gonna bring it forward, okay? We're gonna lay it down to the side. Now, full disclosure, I am not super flexible and I can't get my body perfectly in this pose. But what you want is your hips forward, ideally touching the ground. Mine are not, and that's okay. Okay, you want your chest forward. And here you go. If you can move your foot, mine's here. If you can move it about here, even better, okay? It's a hip opener. It stretches in the inner thighs and down the back. And it is easy. This is modified. Capotasana is also known as Pigeon Pose. And in the full pose, the leg that is straight then comes up. I can't quite do that, and that's okay. I'm gonna switch and do the other side. I'm gonna bring my leg forward. I'm gonna wiggle it over. Okay, I'm gonna straighten out my back leg. I'm gonna make sure my hips are forward and my chest is forward. Even though I can't get my hips all the way to the ground, it's okay. Eventually, if I were to do this every day, then they would probably make their way to the ground. Stretching, opening. Capotasana. All right. So, there you have it. 7 easy exercises to enhance your pregnancy and to prepare your body for labor and birth. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to have a virtual visit with me, then please visit motherlovechild.com. And if there's something you would like me to talk about in my upcoming videos, leave a comment, let me know. Until next time, enjoy these 7 easy exercises. And remember, you are born to do this. You are the boss of you, and you are worth quality care. See you again soon.